Hi club members, I'm Miss Kiosha.
And I'm Miss Casey.
We're so glad you decided to join us today.
Today, for our STEM activity, we will be making elephant toothpaste. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math.
Today you will learn a chemical reaction and explore catalysts. While we're at the club, we want everyone to feel like they belong.
It's no different here online.
First off, make sure you have permission to participate in the summer enrichment program.
Secondly, make sure that you have your club on a go bag.
You may have some materials in the bag that you need for today's activity.
Lastly, have fun. Leave comments, send pictures, and take quizzes.
You ready?
Let's get into the video.
For today's community builder, we will play Zip Zap Zoom. You will get in a circle with your partners or your friends, and you will put your hands in a clapping motion and point to them. Since it's just me and Miss Casey, we're going to do it with each other. The first person to hesitate or to say the word out of turn, they lose. You keep going until you have a winner. Zip,
Zap,
zoom,
zip,
zap,
zoom,
zip,
zip. I'm out, so Miss Kiosha is the winner. And you can do this with multiple people like Miss Kiosha said, but it's just us. So Miss Kiosha is the undisputed champion of Zip Zap Zoom.
For today's activity, you will need
an aluminum pan, a mason jar, yeast. If you don't have this at home, you can get it from Walmart on the baking aisle, I believe. Food coloring, dishwashing liquid, and it could be any type of dishwashing liquid. You can use Dawn, Palmolive, anything. And lastly, hydrogen peroxide, and you want to use something that is 50%
water.
Oh, and lastly, I'm sorry, you're gonna need some warm water to activate your yeast because it is your catalyst, and we don't have any spoons today, so we're gonna use a straw as our mixer.
First, you're gonna take your mason jar and put it in your pan.
In our mason jar, it doubles as a measuring cup, so we're gonna fill it until we get to half of a cup. So I'm gonna put half a cup of peroxide in here, and be extremely careful with your peroxide because you don't want to get it everywhere.
And during this activity, you want to have a parent available because this stuff gets really hot
and very messy. So make sure that you don't have it onto any don't do this experiment on any fabric surfacing, especially since we're using food coloring. And you don't have to use food coloring, also it's optional, but if you want to make it colorful, you can use food coloring.
And you need about a tablespoon of dishwashing detergent.
And we don't have any spoons, so we're gonna eyeball it. So about that much, but you could get a tablespoon and just pour some dishwashing detergent onto it. Okay, next I'm gonna add in some food coloring just so it could have a color to it. And we decided to do red today. So I'm gonna put in about 2 to 3 drops of food coloring. Oh, actually, we're just gonna add as much as we want. Okay, next, here comes the part that's the most fun. We're gonna get some warm water. This is some water in a cup that I warmed for 30 seconds in the microwave. Next, I'm gonna get our yeast, and I'm gonna pour it into our warm water. And it's gonna begin to basically break down the yeast because our yeast is going to be our catalyst. And it's gonna help speed up the process of making the elephant toothpaste erupt. It smells very interesting. Okay, so that's enough yeast. So now we're gonna get our straw and mix it up. And you might want to get an adult to do this part because the water is kind of warm, and I don't want anyone to burn themselves or harm themselves because no one was harmed in the making of this video. So now, here comes the fun part. Miss Kiosha is going to pour the yeast into our mixture of peroxide, dishwashing liquid, and food coloring and watch what happens. Whoa. So, this is our elephant's toothpaste. It's starting to erupt, and hopefully it doesn't flow over our pie pan. It's going to be very hot, so please do not try to touch it. It's giving off a lot of thermal energy right now, as a matter of fact.
Our special vocabulary words for today is hypothesis, a guess of what you think will happen, chemical reaction, a change that takes place when atoms rearrange, decomposition, breaking down of an object, and a catalyst, which speeds up a reaction. So for our catalyst, our yeast was our catalyst.
It sped up the reaction. Without the yeast, we would have not gotten this explosion that we received.
And the explosion was the chemical reaction. Our hypothesis was it was going to shoot out.
And even though it did shoot out, it wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to shoot out, but it still did have an eruption.
Yeast is a living organism, and hydrogen peroxide is used to whiten bones that will be put in a museum. It's also used in toothpaste to whiten your teeth.
And you can also use peroxide for any scratches or cuts that you may receive. If you fall off of your bike, it can clean your wound.
What did you learn, Miss Casey?
I learned that yeast is an amazing catalyst when you're trying to do something such as elephant toothpaste.
I learned the different uses of hydrogen peroxide. What did the yeast do to the reaction?
The yeast sped up the reaction because, once again, it was a catalyst.
Did you enjoy the activity?
I really did. And next time, I want to try using something a little bit different to see if it has a different reaction, or at least try using a different color.
I enjoyed the activity also. I hope you guys enjoyed the chemical reaction.
Thank you, Miss Kiosha, for being so patient throughout this whole process and helping me hook up everything.
Thank you, Miss Casey, for mixing up the yeast with the smell.
Remember to leave below comments, take our quizzes, and send in pictures. Also, follow and like us on Facebook. Until next time, you guys.